Hello together. In this video I will show you how you may create an ASP.NET Core 5 application with the latest Angular front end. The problem always when you create an Angular application in Microsoft, it will be that you always get the old here it is, the old front end, which is actually in which should be version 11, but it is version 8. So when you do that, you get a lot of following problems, that you may not update the material UI. You're not able to do anything because it's always too old and the update will not work. So that's why I decided to make a new solution and to show how you always get the latest version, which has not those big problems. And as you see now, I first will show you now the solution, how it works, and you will see that this is now for all people who want to create an ASP.NET Core application. Now go on. Now you see it's coming in here. Now you see this is the application. It works as expected, and you see now the counter works, and then the fetch data. The fetch data will always ask for the data in the background. So that's why the authorization is coming, which is very, very important to use this one with the identity framework, which you see here in the top, which is very, very helpful, because in this, when you use the Microsoft application, you will not get the password which users create in the background. So you're always on the safe side, because you won't see the password and logins from your users. That's why we do this one. And you see now this is simulated data by the application, what's default. So, and this is, I've created, when I decided to create a new application with the latest client, because I had a lot of entire day of work to do this, I did it in the following way. I created an original application, which I will show you now, and then I switched all the stuff into the new version, and then the system worked again. And we will do this now on the same case. So I'm closing this one. I go to my website, or let's say I start in here. I would say take my Visual Studio 2019, which is pretty good at the moment. And then I say I create a new application with the Angular front end, which is always shitty at the moment because it's 3 years old, the Angular front end, and you get this lot of problems. Now this is ASP.NET Core with Angular. I will say okay, go to my demo site, let's say demo, and I create a ASP Angular update sample. No, latest sample. So like this one, and I take the same one in here. And now we say okay, create it with the Angular.NET, with the ASP.NET 5. This is ASP.NET Core 5 or something like this. And with the individual accounts is the framework which is then in the background, and we're using HTTPS for simulation. Now system comes up, and you see there here in the client app, there's the client app, and inside the client app at the moment is this terrible stuff. Where is the package JSON? Where is it? Who sees the package JSON? Here it is. And inside there you see this is the Angular 8. now is the 1 year later was Angular 9, Angular 10, Angular 11. So this is 3 years old. It's too old, and you may not be able to update it. This is very, very tough. So what we do now, I'm closing this, and I go there. I will say open this one in our folder in the File Explorer. I close this one. Now I am in the File Explorer. Here, this is my latest sample. Here I have the client app. And now I go, now I will rename this one. I hope it works. And I will say, this is my org original. Then I open this one with my Visual Code. And inside Visual Code, I will do the following. Now I am here in the client app org. I open here the terminal. I say create a new terminal. And inside the new terminal, I will say change directory back. So I'm in one node, the upper node and parent node. Now I say ng new. Then I say client app. This will be my new client app. I hope it's right. Now these are the very important questions. Do you want to enforce stricter type checking and stricter bundle budgets in the workspace? This means capital and non-capital typing, because we have TypeScript. And as I found out that it's not able to use the stricter type, so we have to say no. In this case, it's very important to take here a no. Maybe you find a solution where you may say with a stricter type, so you get more help. So I say no. Would you like to add Angular routing? Yes, we need it. We don't need it in the first case, but if you need it in the second way, then you use also the routing. So in this case, I would say for the current stuff I say no or yes. Yes, I say yes. And then I say, okay, this is my CSS. We will say we need CSS. This will run a while. And I see a lot of messages which are also important to remember. These ones which say, now the pretty new world, we have now CRLF instead of line feed. That's what's different. And in some files there was a line feed. We just keep this in mind. That's all what we do. And now we have created our file. As when I jump back, we will see now we have this client app and we have the client app org. Now we open this one here on the left side. This is my new one on my left side, and then we will say we need the other one in a new side like this. Come on. And now we say we go to the source. Now let's first do the we install the, let's say, Bootstrap, and the latest. We first start with the inside here. We go there and say open it in Visual Code. So this is our new application, brand new. And I'm really happy by this. And we see, oh, it's already on the version 11. Now we say terminal, new terminal, and we will install Bootstrap. install the next Bootstrap, which is in version 5. Now when you open this one, you will see in Angular, no, not Angular, in Bootstrap here. Where's my Bootstrap? There's not the latest one installed. Maybe there's no Bootstrap installed, as I see. No Bootstrap. No, something like this. But we need Bootstrap for our application. So I would say install Bootstrap next, which is Bootstrap 5. Now this one is installed, and a very nice thing is always to install some further thing, which is ng add Angular material, because when you are a default Angular developer, you always also need material. And these are commands which normally fail on your other application. You're not able to install that stuff. I'm copying it for my documentation, and in here we take let's say, what did I write there? Let's see, my latest one. Now we have here some themes. We take the this one, the pink and blue gray, as a material. So we go in there and say to back pink and blue gray, and then we say set up global Angular material typography styles. Let's say default, yes or no, something like this, I don't know. And we need the Angular animation, which is necessary for a spinner, when you're loading spinner, when you use that. So this is done now. I'm copying it for my documentation. Now we have the latest stuff installed, and what we do now is closing it. Now we have these two files. This is the original one. This is my new one, and as you see there, client. Here's our source and source. Now you see the API authorization is not there. This is the login and all that stuff. We copy with the control, press control button. We copy it. Then we have we need the main TSS, and at least we need the main TSS, which is in here, the main TSS. Let's open it. No, you simply copy it, because inside the main TSS there is, inside the main TSS is something. There is the base URL, which says, okay, it's when both files are in one path, you need it. So replace, yes, copy by copying. Then we have the style. Style is also important. This is simple style. It's just a light gray and all this, the points. Now we are going closer. Now we have, this is, always remember, this is the old one. And we have now the index. Inside the index we will, let's see, yeah, copy it in there. Nothing happens if you take it from there. And then we have the app. This is also important. Simply control back, take the counter, the fetch, even home, the nav bar, yeah, also the nav bar, take all that stuff, yeah, all that stuff. Okay, I'm not sure if it works with all that stuff. Copy it in there, but it should work. As you see, there is the app component TS is for testing. We don't need the testing. And then is there also the app component CSS. There was no CSS in here in the old one. Now we will start, and you will see that there's also a simple something wrong. We go back to our latest version. 14 minutes ago. Now we have the latest version. We have to look for 2 points here in the startup. It's important to have a look on that. If you get problems where you have to replace it. I will just open my previous version, ident 11, and we copy something out from there, and you will get the same code. Long time's running. So system comes up, and I will say, hey, open the startup CSS there. First of all, in my case, I take a default project which I already have in the background. You do the same. I think for a developer it's quite usual that you have to define in the first project the SQL server which is running in the background. So that's what we do in the top. We say, where was it? Excuse me. We are here, and we say under the config services, we replace this block by a new block which says, okay, this is my @db context, my database connection, and then this is SQL Express server and the same server, and then this is my database. So, and sometimes you have to go there and say in the last position, this one, use proxy to SPA development server. This is if you want to run it on different servers. Let's say this is not the most important at the beginning. Okay, where are we now? Now, now we should be able now to run our application. Why not? I hope it works. Maybe we got an error. Now system says cannot get something. Yeah, this is a default sentence when something goes wrong. We may now scrutinize that stuff. Should be able, but it's not loading status something else. I have to look it up. Wait for a second. Now I close the application again, and we have now to following one final step. As I saw, we have to install the OIDC client, which is a client here in which is for the authentication there. And you always, some people have mentioned this one. There's an OIDC configuration controller. This is the same which we need. Why we need something in there. So I close it again. Now I'm at the client app again, and I open it with a visual code. And now I say, you see, we will say npm install OIDC client. So we go here to our terminal, new terminal. That's what we have here on the bottom. We say this one, npm install OIDC client. And this is necessary here for this one, the platform server and all that stuff. So this will be necessary for there. And we close it. I'm not sure if we have to install anything further. Now I'm copying it. Now I try to run it. Here, simple as a local version. Let's see if I forgot anything. No. Simply start it, and we will not be able to serve it here local anymore. Let's see. There sometimes comes an error because it tries now with the OIDC client to take access to this to the base. Now it's running there. Okay. Now we open it. Hey, and there it is. Now you see it looks like the same, but hey, what happened with the nav bar in the top? So this is final one. I close it again, and we have a final piece documented in my file, and you will find the documentation on my blog. Here under the styles we need this small entry, so we go into our styles block here, and now we close this one. We go in here to the was it in Angular styles, and there you see we installed the material, but the Bootstrap is not there anymore. So that's why we said this one nodes Bootstrap, this CSS Bootstrap min CSS, and now I'm closing it, and I do it now in the default way as Angular. Here it is, latest version. And I hope that anybody who sees that will give me a like and take a subscription, because I really need that stuff. And it's tough work, and you would supply me when you help, and it would really be helpful if I get some followers for my work. 21 minutes. Now it switched, and as you see now, this is done. And English name, and now we have our application here on the top, the links. We have the counter, which runs as a default example. We go into the fetch data. I hope it works too. Now it's loading, and now you see this is the interface which comes from this here API authorization, and a little bit from the server. There's also some stuff there. I would say, okay, I log in here. This one works. This is not new for me. Let's say I'm typing it in, but you shouldn't see it. Why not? Raymond at kodoku.de, and the password, which you will not see. Now it goes on, and yes, here it is. Now you see these are so temporary data which come here from this controller, weather controller, and the weather forecast, which gives those values. And this was my documentation how you will get the latest, the really latest client here on your application. Here it is, client. Let's see where it is. Here on the package JSON, and now you see there's the version 11, which is up to date, and we did Angular CLI there, and we updated it.